Well, let's get it going. Oxygen Esports breakthrough. Let's get it on, brother.
Let's get it on. Indeed, it has been a 7th-month break between when we casted last and when we casted that last best of 3. So we're chomping at the bit to cast some games. So heck yeah, bring it all on. So we're gonna maybe see an early mid battle here. Pony looking for something.
Well, the knife will at least reveal a player deep in towards market, and Sim has taken some early damage and some significant early damage at that. Pony just playing gatekeeper though through mid, a chance to possibly delay this push through. The offense is rotating towards B main. No one's checking mid. It's just the trap wire that's here to try to keep any potential flank honest.
Yeah, Pony trying to see what he can do here. He's going to find a whole lot of nothing, as it is going to be the B attack coming in strong. But there are a couple of defenders here. Knife getting thrown, kind of getting an understanding of things here. So these members will be suppressed and slowed down because of it. That allows this rotation from Scuba now as well because of Pony's position at the back of Catwalk. We are seeing an audible being called through middle, however. But Pony will be able to perhaps detect this, depending on how far he wants to slide out, which that means he can call for the rotation back if it's needed.
That knife may give him the call that he can get behind this play, but the hit through middle is already on the way. Verno, Recon Bolt just trying to stall out this offensive hit for as long as humanly possible. It's almost like a 6v5 right now with the clock in its current condition at 22 seconds. And Oxygen are still on site. But Pony, oh, that's a mistake. He walks right up and gets hit by the tracker. So now it's just down to can you hold from the front. Mitch in the backside corner, not finding a lot of connections initially, but then wakes up and finds the 2 needed. Sim, who was not a part of the initial play, is the last one left, and he will not get on towards site. Oh, absolute brilliance out of the defense from Oxygen.
Yeah, I mean, with Pony just being able to take so much space and so much information, they're able to get that early rotation from Scuba through back halls because of Pony's positioning. And while, as you noted, things got a little bit scary for a moment when it came to the initial exchanges, eventually Oxygen able to get back on top of the duels and come out with the round. Immediately see them picking up 3 SMGs, an Ares, and a Bulldog. Nothing too crazy in this initial setup from BreakThru, just kind of spread out. Hoping for picks with the Sheriff, perhaps.
Lots of utility being thrown over towards Wine. Oh, and actually Scuba will reveal himself, finding some significant damage. Pony was there to make sure he stayed safe. Fragment into the corner will clear everything completely. And the final dark cover will be spent to make sure that there is a little bit of a transition window to get out of this Wine position if they need to, which they will. The knife does not really reveal anything over here through mid. So with that in mind, Mitch just kind of has to play contact, and he may get a lot of it right here. First peek comes through, dashing back is Sim. But here come the rest of BreakThru, and that's enough for Mitch to say, I'm not really all that interested. Let's set up for the flash. Trades right through tree. And it looks like the kills will start to favor that of Oxygen, and convincingly so with the weapons.
Yeah, great trade there from Scuba as well. As Mitch goes down, the door does get closed also. It gets broken through, though. Spike makes its way into sight, but Scuba holds a very important piece of real estate here at Y while his teammates are rotating through tree and back hall's positions. But Brock coming up huge with a couple of kills. Made that very scary for a moment. But Verno able to come up big there with the Ares to get the dub. That came way too hard, though.
Oh, yeah. And that kind of reduces the ability to play for a true bonus here. Off the defensive side, the economy's just not there. So it may feel insignificant. You kind of expect the round to go 2-0, but yeah, these kills from Brock are more important than they may seem when it comes to getting a round 3 advantage, and a comfortable one at that if you're BreakThru.
So let's see how BreakThru's able to respond on their full buy against the bonus of Oxygen here. BreakThru just kind of lined up outside B lobby early with all 5. Camera used to start clearing their way forward.
Nothing tagged, nothing gained. Oxygen have actually also taken over A long. That is a lot of information on where BreakThru isn't. So a chance to turn 0 information into good information, saying, well, if they're not here, they must be ready to go over towards B. And there are traps that are set up. There's a smoke to dash through. Lots of spam coming forward, but Oxygen, oh, no one checks the corner for Randy. A key first pick comes out. It keeps Verno a little bit more safe in the back. He's about to be overwhelmed, though, and will be without too much cause for concern. And then Frodo right back over towards staircase. Collects a second, and Oxygen's hope of staving together defense have gone out the window.
I know exactly where you are.
See the ult already come out from a proto just to get the confirmation on where these two players are remaining. Maybe a bit of overkill, but
Yeah.
might as well. Can build that back up no problem, as we are going to see BreakThru. Well, BreakThru the bonus of Oxygen.
Hey, wordplay.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You're hilarious, Gus. Don't let anyone ever tell you
the
differently.
best.
No one's ever made that joke in the history of jokes, so you got that going for you. Pony will fall without too much cause again for concern, as the exit is relatively fine. A couple of the repurchases will have to come through for BreakThru, but with the plan and with the kills, should have no worries doing that, and Oxygen will be on their first full buy coming in round 4.
And so far, we've seen Oxygen be very proactive defensively, you know, particularly on this A side of the map with Pony. It's been multiple times he's pressed through there for early intel, and so I'm curious to see if they're going to kind of keep up that aggression throughout the course. Pony, of course, not having the operator, so he's going to be looking at aggression in a different way.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be through middle this time around.
He's got support too. Verno's going to be kind of working with him. Again, our opening utility from Oxygen kind of keeps BreakThru at this choke point.
Yep.
So that's great news, I would say, just generally speaking, trying to make sure that BreakThru gets nothing to work with off the get-go, at least for free. Verno will be scouted. He's also seen the flip side where the spy cam is. And interestingly enough, Pony will also show himself very voluntarily to that play.
Yeah, they get the orb at A main now. Owl Drone comes through. They are not letting go of their initial game plan of trying to push through here, but they are going to have a quick exchange take place. But now the press comes in. Scuba trying to stay alive by the generator, trying to escape. Does get one on his way out, but BreakThru still get the better end of the deal now in a 3-on-2.
Verno tries to creep his way forward. Scouted by Sim, but the shots do not land, so Verno now kind of stuck. And he will start to get tagged up pretty convincingly as Proto hits the flank through. Glass is being watched, though, and Verno is still alive for maybe longer than you'd expect. Doesn't make a difference. Sim collects 4 in the round, and BreakThru have tied us up at 2.
Indeed, they have. Operator from Pony at middle, not able to find anything. Everyone just gathered up outside A main, and when they decide to pull the trigger, they are able to have the more efficient trades. Sim closing out with a double. And that is going to put us all square, and Oxygen onto a bit of a save, just the Sheriffs and a couple of ults. So great chance for BreakThru to get the lead.
Bank account early for BreakThru. Pretty solid, though. Odin in the mix. A lot of reserves started to be built up for Proto as well after, again, he had the really early neural theft. Had no hesitation using it.
Yeah, it's just them kind of sitting back and waiting to see if Oxygen are going to do something aggressive now that they've been on the save. They know that Oxygen has pushed A couple of times already earlier in the half, so they have the cam kind of set up for it this time around as well as the trapwire, but Oxygen just kind of looking to kind of gamble stack the A side, which is kind of all you can really do in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Don't really have a whole lot to work with.
The interesting thing with this setup is the fact that Randy didn't even opt to pull any nanoswarms in, so he just has a sentry turret here to keep him safe. This is a very thin defense towards B in a multitude of ways.
Yeah, it's definitely a big gamble.
We'll catch a little bit, but BreakThru are not going to be deterred. They're still going to hit this.
Another smoke comes in, though, from Scuba to perhaps slow it down a little bit more. Randy trying to play a little bit of an off angle here on the catwalk corner, but that Owl Drone will kind of force him back into side as they flash their way through the smoke and dash in.
Randy has to get one here. No, not even going to get that. So any hopes of Oxygen's defense trying to make life difficult for BreakThru pretty much done and dusted. Plant will come through pretty easily. There is just the bunker up strategy for this post plant dust. Not a lot of play through the site at all here for BreakThru.
I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting to see. Oxygen just trying to play for exits as best as they can.
Here.
Which eventually they will be met by BreakThru with superior firepower, trying to come back through the site and out.
No charges left.
BreakThru have to make a decision on how they want to get out of here. I mean,
yeah,
the
it's true.
trapwire is deleted, so they know that there's going to be pressure from B main. There's the first example of it. Scuba actually gets a kill. And Verno's still holding down the front door. This is getting really expensive. Finally, a couple of the kills come out, but 2 players fall, and there's nearly a third to drop as well if Sim doesn't get around the corner as fast as he did.
So a gamble from Oxygen doesn't pay off, but that's all they really could have hoped for.
Right.
Pony is going to be back onto the operator, however, and they have 4 ults at their disposal, 3 available for BreakThru. Everyone going to be on the full rifles here. And, I mean, BreakThru has really been content as kind of playing these heavy pressure early rounds where they kind of have a focus of 3 to 4 players on one extremity. They don't really play a whole lot of mid control. At least that's been the pattern so far.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that's like, you see defensively Oxygen are throwing a lot of utility towards trying to control this A main lobby area, and BreakThru say, all right, cool, we'll throw some utility our way as well. It's a lot of opening utility being spent in those opening rounds, but now that we've got a full buy on both sides, things are a little more reserved, to say the least. Both teams kind of weird, but still, I know you're kind of looking right at it. You've got Pony just watching mid-map for free still.
Yeah, but he's not seeing anything, so they're not getting really any information. They're also playing very passive on the A side, almost playing more for a retake. I mean, they actually really don't have any information other than there's no one middle. But they don't know what lobby area that BreakThru might be gathering at. It isn't certainly, we can tell, going to be the B side with a little bit of alert going on from Thief over on the opposing side. And eventually we're going to see the burst here. Drone gets shut down, smoke goes down on Market. Here comes the push. Nanoswarm slows down the attack, though. And now the Hunter's Fury.
I love it. The knife shuts everything down, and Verno says, oh, no one shall pass. 2 from the Hunter's Fury. Spike down.
30 seconds left.
Oh, boy. That is not what you want to see, and Sim is just kind of stuck, hoping for some sort of a lifeline, but I don't know if there's going to be one provided in any form, because you may have to consider just saving at this point, especially with only 15 seconds. Seems to be the case.
Yeah, that was such a brilliant combo of utility there from Oxygen. Just the knife going down at B lobby, getting the intel. Nanoswarm stops them from being able to push onto the site, and then the Hunter's Fury comes pouring through from Verno through main and just lights them up.
It almost seemed like it just took too long for BreakThru to make the commitment to hit, because the flash over the top that we saw from the perspective of the KO, a Flya, it got a lot of defensive members of Oxygen interested in mid. But once then you see the Owl Drone come out, you have a laborious knife that comes through, it's like, well, okay, they're not hitting mid, they're hitting from the front door B, and you kind of give up your hand at that point.
Yeah, I mean, again, this was just so odd time. I mean, look at all this utility. There's just nowhere for BreakThru to go. They're trapped like fish in a barrel for Verno's Hunter's Fury. That's going to go ahead and equal us back up 3 apiece. And now BreakThru again. They're just keeping the same type of style of just fast-paced play on the extremities.
Sim looking to burst on through, steps just over the Nanoswarm, right on towards the top of the generator, no worries. Null command here, over the top, shut down by Randy Savage. And Oxygen Esports will have to forfeit the spike plant, but they will have a 5v4. Offensive Hunter's Fury trying to keep things going here for BreakThru, but it's not connecting onto anything. Oxygen have some time to kill before they take their retake.
Oh, and Pony got the read on the Proto at top middle. I thought he was going to get caught, but instead he gets the kill. Now the lockdown goes in as well, on top of their 2-man advantage.
Not good. This is not good for BreakThru. They are pushed completely off of site. Oxygen will get the full clearance. Someone could hop this as well. This is not a good angle for this spike to be at. Everyone's trapped over into Wine. And the front line is Verno. Here comes the push through. Shock Dart will get the kill into Randy Savage, but it gets to halfway. Shots from Flya starting to come through, but it's not going to be enough. Defuse secured with 4 seconds to spare, and Oxygen convert.
Indeed, they do. Just a brilliant retake play there. Pony getting the kill out in middle, allows the lockdown to go down at tree. Pushes everyone off the site, traps them over towards Wine and A main, and it's just easy pickings at that point for Oxygen to pull off the victory. And now it's a low buy for BreakThru. Sheriff's a Plunty, just the one Phantom on Brock. They do have a Cosmic Divide available, but that's the only ult that's even remotely in play. Everybody's way far off from having another one.
Scanning ahead.
And Oxygen are in a great spot to take an advantage here.
Surely.
Without question. Bank accounts are great across the board. You could ship some of those off to Grandma to help buy a new house if you want to.
Or pay off my student loans if you want to do that.
Or send them to Dust for
I
student
would
loans.
appreciate it. We are seeing a little bit more mid-focus from BreakThru, but only just to get the tree. They're doing it very quickly. They do actually beat the timing of that nade, so they're able to start getting into the site with Spike, and it will get planted. Oxygen again just playing for retake.
Spike planted.
With superior firepower.
Yeah, but the setup is here. You deny some early retake tools. Recon Dart not going to see much. Little floating shock darts come through, trying to get Fly out of generators. That'll work, but largely he goes unscathed. So Oxygen taking their time here. Knives are out. Scuba does still at least have some utility to play with. But the spy cam for Proto just kind of spams through, and the recon bolt to follow keeps Oxygen at bay. This is taking a lot of time. You've got to go. Shock Dart's now on the way forward, and it's Pony up top with Savage from the backside to take down 3. Still a chance for Brock to try to convert this, but he's been pushed out, and the right click will solve the problem with just enough time to spare a flawless, investor flawless from Oxygen up 5-3.
Now, a little stressful because, like you said, they were getting slowed down quite a lot by the utility of BreakThru. They weren't able to really make that heaven push as quickly as they probably wanted to, but eventually they were able to break through. Pony with the ult able to get up top, soaring through the sky, grabbing a couple of key frags, and then pushes through onto Brock to allow that defuse to happen, though it did still kind of come down to the wire a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely some beads of sweat Oxygen probably weren't expecting to have to suffer through to get that one, but nonetheless, they're up 5-3. Full buy for both squads, though, coming into this.
Need to see something different, I think, though, for BreakThru.
I want to see some mid control, like, and actually use it to pressure market.
Oh, but Pony with the operator doesn't get through this nebula with good timing. There are members all around him. Charges up the dash, doesn't like what he sees, backs away, and somehow as he barely even got touched, like Neo from the Matrix for a moment. Does get tagged down just a touch, though, but largely speaking, Oxygen can still contest this, especially with the external information from Verno. And that leads to BreakThru kind of empty through mid. They will leave Proto here to lurk, but I mean, he's not really able to do much by himself. He has to wait for the first play to come out of this play through A.
Yeah, and again, Oxygen have been, you know, keen on playing retake A when necessary, and they've been successful at doing so.
Yeah.
So, and that's why you have to figure, like, BreakThru being able to implement some of their own mid control might be kind of the ticket to kind of force some early battles and maybe get them away from being able to have these real safe retake setups. BreakThru are once again trying to dash into side. Again, this has not been their problem. Their problem's been holding on at the end, and now they're not having trouble even getting the spike through on the site thanks to Scuba spam.
Really good timing on that spam. So now Proto can make his play, but the problem is he's losing all of his teammates from the front. So as much as this could lead to a couple of free kills, his teammates that are on the site have to do something besides just get the spike planted. Oh, and he's going to try to line everybody up. And, well, did not expect a collection of 4 defensive players to be right through glass. So Brock now stuck on site, having to play for the 1v3, is waiting for the peak and hopefully some timing over through tree door. Not going to get it. Turns his attention back to the front. Little snap 180 nearly lines things up, but Scuba will take down 3 in the round as Oxygen moved to 6.
Yeah, Oxygen getting really comfortable on this defense. Again, their retake A setup has worked out well pretty much every single time. They've also been able to get aggressive with Pony in different areas of the map, try to slow BreakThru down. BreakThru have really been reliant on just these fast-paced hits, and while they've been successful at getting spike plants, they haven't been so successful in the in-round conversion. And so something has to give. Either need to tidy up their post-plant, or they need to try to be a little bit more dynamic with how they play these early round situations. Again, I like the idea of them, how they threatened mid the previous round. I just don't feel like they got heavy-handed enough with it. They really only had, you know, a Proto there for a late lurk, not any real pressure onto market or something like that.
Yeah, strong call. This round, all 5 members will start over towards the B barriers. A little bit of a Congo line moving over through mid, though. Aldrone will get the information that Pony is playing pretty aggressively with the operator, but here's that mid pressure that I think you were looking for. Flya trying to come back through with the rest of his squad. But no, it's just Pony shutting everything down. My goodness. And that's going to put a complete halt to this entire offensive play. Savage will actually even find Thief through the nebula. Wasn't intentional, but we take those if you're Oxygen. And potential for another investor flawless if they can clean up Proto.
And not a whole lot left that BreakThru can do in this moment unless a Proto can pop off here as he's trying to maybe look to attack towards those back halls. But Pony has the angle upstairs. He tries to cage his way across the back halls, gets a flash and gets the frag on the Randy Savage. Now he also gets the ult out, gets the intel on this player inside the defensive spawn, but knowing's half the battle. Mitch still wins the duel.
May not have even been half the battle. It's like 10% of that battle. Wow. These are quick rounds compared to what we just got off of from Ascent 2, mind you. I mean, we're 10 rounds in and maybe, what, 3 minutes into this map? So it feels that way.
Placing alarm bot. Turned out.
There. Kill all there.
So we did see the pivot to that mid attack last round, but Pony's op has just been too much for BreakThru.
Oh, yeah.
And that has to really hurt if you're BreakThru, because you feel like you actually did call a change up, tried something different, and still faltered. And this time even faster. You didn't even get the spike in. So what adjustment do they go for now? Quick tree is the call this time.
Yeah, a little heavy-handed. Aldrin will scout out offensively what's going on over towards one. Nebula down. Here comes BreakThru. Spam into the smoke. Largely connected to Fragment. Is in a great position, though, to push them off of this. So Mitch, the only defender left over towards A, had to make the decision of do I contest or do I concede? He's chosen the latter, an option to wait for help.
Again, it comes down to this retake. Lockdown even going to be in play this time for Randy Savage. And Oxygen's A retakes have been on point. The difference here, though, is the position of Brock. He could be a little bit of a late foil up through the catwalk.
Oh,
it won't matter at all because they just all get absolutely rinsed inside a window. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. My apologies.
yeah. How dare you?
How dare I try to conceive of a way that something might be different this time?
And then, like, I don't know, is there any peace of mind that you're seeing BreakThru try different things? It's just like, some of it's been bad Valorant timing.
Last round.
I mean,
before the switch.
Certainly, like, stubbornness would make it worse, but just that I almost think it's harder on a team. Like, you could at least make the excuse that, oh, well, we kind of kept doing the same thing. We didn't ever adjust, and that's why we've been unsuccessful. But then if you do try a bunch of different things and you're still unsuccessful, then you're left lost, wondering what the heck could we have done differently that would have made the difference. And I just think that somewhere along the line, they just haven't been able to get that, like, nice early engagement that they're looking for. Like, yeah, they are getting sights, but it's usually in 5-on-5 situations. They're not getting the opening pick.
Yeah. Lots of heavy-handed pushes as well that Oxygen have done so well at dealing with. That is fine for Randy Savage, the only defender on the site. Maybe could have been nitpicky by saying get those nanoswarms up next time, but he was completely suppressed out of it. How do you predict that? Proto trying to watch the flank. 1-for-1 trade. Brock with the early Hunter's Fury. Not really going to land onto too much, so a chance once again for Oxygen to breathe. How do you put together this retake? Thief is the difference this time throughout, but Verno, his first shot lands blindly, and then Thief lurking in towards the Nebula, completely destroyed. And as Flya was also revealed, there is no chance for him to do much besides wait his inevitable death. And that is a 9-3 half for Oxygen. Unbelievably good from them.
Yeah, brutal, and it really just comes down to how strong their retakes were. We saw it mostly at A, but we end off the half with one at B. A brilliant Hunter's Fury from Verno is kind of what dots the I's and crosses the T's of what was a brilliant half from Oxygen through and through defensively. Again, credit where credit's due. BreakThru were certainly trying different things at times, but I feel like they were too reliant on kind of just like heavy extremity pressures early. I don't think they established the mid-control early enough. And I think that they just kind of let Pony have a little bit too much free reign in the early rounds. They weren't really able to contest him well. Let's see if they can try to make things better on the defensive side.
It's a lot of unique looks, but I feel like the best way in my mind that I'm kind of coming to grips with it is that almost everything felt too one-dimensional, right? Like, this is a heavy-handed hit through tree. This is a 5-man stack through B main. Like, they're different looks, but there's not a lot of layering to it. It's a lot of just throw everything at him. Yeah,
there's no jabbing. There's no, like, you know, coming back. It's all commitment right away, and then Oxygen were very confident in their retakes to handle that situation. Also, our question about Verno answered. 14 frags that half.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah, he seems to be doing just fine.
And how many of those were Hunter's Fury kills, by the way? 4 of them?
Something like that.
Doing pretty well.
Here.
BreakThru.
Here.
Have a Brock Sim stack here at mid-map. Flya trying to assist, but just cannot plant the shots. There's too many players to look at, although good news is he does trade away his life evenly as we get to a very early 3v3. Spike still up, though. Oxygen not sweating yet.
No, this exchange favors Oxygen all day long. It's defense that's now whittled thin and spread out all across the map with really no information on where Oxygen may be headed. Oxygen are content to be patient, just kind of gather up together in middle and then make the call. Seems like tree is the option. They will run into Sim if they commit this angle, and this could get a little bit spicy. Sim gets forced back in the end.
He actually avoids the knife.
30 seconds left.
Talk about schmoving out here. Good first kill, just trying to pitch things up. Scuba keeps the play alive, looking for the ace. It's going to come to a 1v1. And Proto's going to be here relatively quickly. Last bit of utility spent for either party's side. And I think Scuba's actually heard more than Proto thinks he gave away. Has not seen the top hat yet, though. Ping does come through. There's the information. Oh, but the tags evenly exchanged. Proto down to essentially one shot, so is Scuba. The ace on the line. Next shoulder comes out, and how about it from Scuba? Give him all 5, the investor ace.
Man alive, Scuba doing so well there. That was a dicey round because while they did push Sim off of tree, they did not know about the player inside a lobby. That's Thief, who's able to get a couple of big kills and looked like he was going to maybe turn the round in his team's favor, but Scuba has different plans, pulls off the ace clutch. A 1v2 in the end to get it done, and that's going to push Oxygen even further ahead. Up now 10-3, and they're the ones taking a timeout, letting BreakThru sit on that and relish in it.
I'm glad that you had the same opinion that I did. I was like, this is literally just a sit here and deal with it moment. If you're Oxygen.
Why don't you
want to talk about it?
Think about that a little bit.
Oh, man. That's 8 rounds in a row as well. You want to talk about insult on injury. But yeah, Verno's pretty good. I think we can at least rest our head on that for now. It's still early days, and you know, BreakThru may not be the top echelon of this group, I think, based off early expectations. But hey, we asked the question, and we're already getting some early answers towards his ceiling.
BreakThru with the force up.
Have to have it.
Alarm bot out.
I mean, it's scary though. You lose this, it's pretty much game over.
Yep. And they're going to stay on this tempo. Sim up close. He still could even flash further if he wants to take a look at this. Flyas nearby. And Oxygen are starting to set up in position. If he hears something, there may be a call to throw a flash. But he hasn't heard anything. Although, no one sees him down low yet, and Sim will eventually bail away.
I cannot use that.
Yeah, they kind of read out that up close setup and forced it back with utility. And now everything will just kind of settle back down. As BreakThru will hold on to this 3-man A defense. They have no idea what's going on at middle, though. That's a lot of lost information that Oxygen could abuse, but rather than doing so, it looks like they're just gathering up for the A hit in the end, and Sim is in a pretty precarious position to deal with. They could be in some trouble here if they commit.
Yeah, no dash, just cloud bursts. And again, like you mentioned, you can even see Thief. He's just checking tree, checking forward. They don't know what's over through the middle. So Pony will step on in towards sight. Sim in the corner. Good for the first. No one else there to follow up. Good gravity well. Keeps them safe. And that may be enough right there. Their defense is starting to move. Brock's on his way. And with 30 seconds remaining, Oxygen's first attempt is completely stifled.
They don't really have time to push backwards either. I mean, they kind of just have to re-hit this, but I mean, they're still a danger position being held by Sim, though he does have low HP. Flya at the back of the site in a great position as well. This is going to be tough to break. He's here too.
Oh, yeah. There's the softball toss off the flash. Thief in the corner. Yeah, that's going to work. Wow.
Spike down.
It's one of those things you just have to kind of give credit where credit is due. And for the defense, you look towards Thief. It's a great gravity well that completely breaks down this offensive hit from Oxygen, and BreakThru stay alive.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Oxygen didn't fall back off of that and kind of just, you know, settle down, maybe take a little bit of map control elsewhere, maybe try to force some rotations. Instead, they just recommit to an already botched hit, and it's just kind of ramming your head into a brick wall at that point. I mean, Sim just tees off at the Stinger with low HP up close, wants it with 3 frags. Just seemed I don't know, just a little throwing caution to the wind.
Little look into how one of the most dynamic Cypher players in North America sets up. Proto, as mentioned, he's just got so much playtime on this character. So he'll help reinforce mid and B simultaneously. The rest of the offense for Oxygen, just trying to feel things out, not really committing anywhere yet.
Revealing area.
Yeah, just Oxygen here, low econ. Trying to get a little bit of mid-presence here with Scuba. There is that trap wire there, though, for information for BreakThru, depending on how deep he wants to push things. Meantime, they look like they want to try to set up a little bit of a push into tree. There's going to be a smoke from Scuba that can block the top of it. Maybe allow them to have a peek into sight. Flya, though, getting over the top of it.
Yeah, knife didn't hit him either, I don't think. pardon me, that was his knife, my bad. And that's
Oh,
down
that's
to Mitch.
you.
If you're going to commit, there's the offensive knife. Flash behind it, dashing at him, but Pony guesses left. And that was not at all where Flya was positioned. Defense cleaning things up around the play through mid. Spike down. Last 2 members for Oxygen at B main, pretty much stuck.
No.
Yeah.
You already see that one-way cage is going to maybe be a problem later on in the half. Just something to think about. Brock winds up with the hat trick there. Going to make it 10-5. Oxygen back onto a full buy this next round, however. Again, hoping to see a little bit better mid-control out of them in this next buy round. Again, I think that just opens up so many options instead of kind of pigeonholing yourself into some type of extremity attack. I think that's what kind of backfired on BreakThru a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of really defensive considerations. The Odin not necessarily playing the spam spot, just kind of holding down the trigger through main. The one-way cyber cage, like you mentioned, once again placed. And why not?
Shock dart.
Could get broken up here by Verno. Kind of curious what the shock dart's going to do. Break anything, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Mid-smoke up allows Mitch to get towards top of the catwalk, so they are going to threaten tree position early. That is for certain. Flya will be here watching it. Smoke comes up.
Oh, he's got Thief nearby who can try to help this cross. Paranoia's in, Flash comes out. That's enough actually for Flya to still see Pony through the nearsightedness. Secondary Flash is in, and Flya says, I'm in. Oh, and does go 2 for 1. A bold call, but it keeps Oxygen a little bit at bay, so an impressive moment from him. Thief, long range, no, shut down by Randy Savage. That will lead to Verno on the plant. Defense could contest this early, though. Looks like they do want to move pretty quickly, especially considering the recon that just comes out. Shock dart to follow, but it's a little bit wide. Sim still up top. Aldrone trying to put a little bit of pause in this retake, but it's denied almost instantaneously.
Here.
And now BreakThru's just down to how do we fall off this heaven play and try to isolate these different post-plant defenders. Verno just takes a wide peek and wins it. Roto on the response, good for 2. Has a good read on Scuba. Long-range shots will work out as the team play will be good enough, and BreakThru are putting together some defensive rounds in a row.
Indeed, they are. Just handled that tree push really well. Fly gets a couple of nice frags off of it, slows the whole thing down, gives his team main advantage on the retake for a time. Of course, Randy Savage hits a pretty nice frag onto Thief. That kind of gets it back to even for the spike plant, and it's anyone's game at that point. But BreakThru come off of heaven nicely, get a couple of big frags. Big round for a Proto in particular on that. Now he's the stinger buy up here from Oxygen. Got the ult on Scuba. 1 orb away is Verno and Randy from their ults.
Could lead to options as well if you do end up getting them by way of kills, too.
Yeah, or you could just pick up the orb at A main lockdown and then just get up in there with stingers and just get the most out of that weapon. Force those up close exchanges. There it is.
You profit.
Concealment.
And now Thief has to go to work, trying to slow this down as long as possible. Sim could actually still peek this and wants to. Scuba goes into from the shadows, but Sim able to connect. One player is detained in the process, but the kills do favor that of the defenders. Aldrone now trying to quickly come back through as his spike is being planted. Shock darts on both sides. And Oxygen are stacked, playing as close as humanly possible. Scuba still holding. Chance for Paranoia to come out, but the reveal is still in place. Sim able to use that very nicely. Trains back and forth off the reload. Thief able to control some space in the defense, and me just be able to finish it all off. Yep, and that's an easy follow-up. BreakThru all of a sudden on 7.
Yeah, I like the idea from Oxygen. You know, you're on a bunch of stingers, you know, use the lockdown to make sure you can get control of the site and then hope that you can catch people up close with stingers as they're coming down through heaven and things of that nature. But while that was a good plan, BreakThru able to fight through it all there, get themselves a 7th round, put it just within 3. Sim now has the operator defensively for BreakThru, a factor we haven't seen yet this half, so Oxygen will have another thing to worry about coming into this. Onto a full buy, though, with Hunter's Fury available. 4 ults up, though, for BreakThru.
Hey, we talked about it in the pre-map conversations. Both teams like this map, and maybe they just both like defense a lot. Because so far, so good. Walk right into me, why don't you, says Sim. And backs away without forfeiting too much of his health pool. Again, an early numbers advantage for BreakThru's defense.
Here.
Yeah, just seemed like Mitch timed that flash a little wrong. Thought he was going to get a free peek, and instead wound up just falling right into him. Pony, of course, sees this trap wire as they start trying to put that pressure onto Market. He's going to break it, and there it's going to be the trigger they need to go ahead and pull it here on this site. Nice Bravo will slow them down to that Market.
Sets up Brock relatively nicely, but he gives up the angle over towards Sidewalk and decides to play with his compatriot down deep. Oh, Fly, not expecting this play from Oxygen, though. No one was able to keep these defenders inside to contest their own spawn. So now it's just down to Brock from inside the site, still working alongside Proto, and they may just be able to do it all themselves from the backside. This is a 2v4 situation on the site, and they deal with all of it.
Man alive, Oxygen, you think they get through Market, they get that kill into back calls, cutting off the reinforcements. All they had to worry about were the two players at the back of B, but they could not get it done. They were throwing shock darts and spams, but nothing connected well enough, and BreakThru get a huge round win there. Now it's 10-8, and they have Oxygen yet again on an eco, so a chance to put it just down to 1 round difference.
A little buy save back and forth here for Oxygen.
Get out of my way.
Great news. Sim looking to get early and aggressive with a recon bolt to help. Channels up the dash, but it's a headshot from Randy Savage. And that could be an operator now all of a sudden in the hands of a very weakened Arsenal for Oxygen. Trying to spam through the wall, but the Odin just a touch better at that.
Yep, touch better. Brock does take a little bit of damage, but he does a heck of a lot more. Still, though, man advantage for Oxygen, though they were not able to collect that operator in B lobby. They got pushed off of it. So they still are lacking on firepower right now. They do have the ult still, of course, of Pony, and they do have Hunter's Fury with Verno. But interesting Cypher setup here is going to make an A hit a little bit difficult.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a stretched trap wire right down the main staircase. Prediction on the spy cam, not going to work out. And there's the Hunter's Fury starting to come through Brock, the first one to connect. Actually, I think he tags a little bit more than that. Where on the opposite side, Verno does at least clear up some of the defenders that are on the high ground. Just down to Kennedy with Proto down low. He's been so good as a lockdown artist, but this time only walks away with one. Does give a chance for Brock to come in, and the help from the flash, exquisite. It's still just down to 1v1 though. Verno can still just hit a shot and win the round. And with that, a thrifty. Fragment pushes him. Fly is still holding the angle. Time becoming a problem. Shots just are not landing, though, from either side, and eventually the Vandal gets the job done.
Yeah, got a little bit sloppy there in the end, but Fly does eventually get the job done to put this to 10-9. Money is going to be back for Oxygen, and they do have an ult there for Mitch. Just an exchanging of Hunter's Furies that both find the frag, but it's just the Proto anchoring the site very well, buys time for Brock rotation, who gets the Odin to work. And then it just comes down to the 1v1 in the end where Flya comes out on top. 3 ults available for BreakThru, just the 1 null command for Mitch on the opposing side. Aggressive op work here from Sim on Catwalk. Not going to spot anything just yet, though.
Got you.
And in a 10-9 score, Oxygen are in a position to where this is going to be a must-win round, essentially, for them. You lose this one, you're not just down 10-10, you're back onto another save. You're probably playing for OT after that.
Yeah.
Whereas for BreakThru, everyone's more than okay repurchasing at this point.
Sim's still trying to keep tabs on middle with the operator. In the meantime, Oxygen will leave Pony there, while also trying to press the drone through tree to grab some additional map control. And so I like what I'm seeing from Oxygen. You know, they're threatening multiple fronts at once and making it really hard for BreakThru to have a complete read of the lay of the land. A great paranoia on the Thief to allow them to get full control of tree. Knife will get the detection as well, suppressing Thief.
I mean, Thief doesn't have any stars down, though, that he can really help himself. So this is just him trying to play for kills at this point. And BreakThru are going to back away and try to catch Pony with this rotational play through the defensive spawn. But Brock able to hit the first. Little jet v jet action towards mid-map as Broadcast is trying to hold the defense over towards B. Proto has not been called upon as of yet, but shortly that time will be here. Brock continues to make life difficult. 13 seconds on the clock, and now Proto gets involved. 10 on the clock, and there's not going to be a chance for Scuba to get to the play. That from BreakThru just killing time.
Yeah, you like how the gears were turning there for Oxygen. I mean, they put some good mid pressure. They leave Pony there. They're able to start cutting off rotations in the back calls. They put a good little threat on tree position, really kind of scaring the A site. But then they decide to double back into B. And unfortunately for them, Brock has just been a rock on that side. He's just not let anything through at that Odin. He's just been collecting frags time and time again. Gets that rotation from a Proto as well to just add to the reinforcements, really lock that whole thing down. So again, a good idea from Oxygen. I kind of liked what they were thinking there, but they just got bogged down a little bit too much when it came to the full execute.
It feels like both teams are just having trouble executing the second step of these designs, right?
That's a good point.
Knife reveals a lot defensively for BreakThru, who do not have any defenders on site. All this is around either through tree or Sim will watch the cross up top, but you can see that BreakThru are not confident in their defensive positions around A as of yet. Recon Bolt really gives you that idea. That's sent in very late. And Oxygen are just going to kind of bide their time and see what they can find elsewhere.
Yeah, they're starting to get back over to middle, leaving Pony behind at A main, still kind of keeping some presence with Scuba over on the B side. They've really liked attacking tree quite a lot, and this time you're seeing BreakThru actually double up defensively with the crossfire at this position. They're going to drone forward and try to get into tree. Flya trying to break it there, it seems. A lot of people are going to get protected by that knife right now over towards tree position, so Oxygen know that they're up against a pretty stout defense on this side of the map, but they're not deterred. Nano Swarm to kind of block the angle, but it's another one in return, yeah.
Paranoia out. Flya still holding on to the flash. Good recon coming through, allows the spam to come afterwards. And kill still favor that of BreakThru. Oxygen still stuck in this position. And as the smoke fades, Verno does take down 2, but it's an even exchange. 3v2 numbers with the defense as the spike gets planted for Oxygen. Flya on the flank, on the tree side, still trying to keep these offensive players stuck inside of sight. That's exactly what he's done. We're tied at 10 somehow, some way. That will be broken, though, as BreakThru get the easy debut.
Yeah, BreakThru are just doing a great job defending this tree position. Whether it's getting the frags they need to get ahead, whether it's slowing down the attack to buy time for rotations heaven, whatever the case may be, this has been a target that Oxygen have tried to gather very often throughout the course of this half, and BreakThru have done a very good job defending it. I really feel like that's been kind of the key factor in a lot of this half. It's just how things have played out in that particular spot on the map.
That goes there.
Yeah.
This is a nice spot.
That and just Brock and a Proto have been locking things down.
Unreal. So now you're into a half-buy situation for Oxygen. More early intel for BreakThru. That could be even further because Sim is in a great position to watch these players try to exit through mid-map. Even gets a second, they're just giving away kills.
Yeah, BreakThru looking like they're about to be on map point any moment now. They're trying to pressure Brock, but now the one-way cage comes up for Sim to play off of with that operators. The Astra Stars will also come down and slow down. I need more progress on the B side of the map. In the meantime, Pony trying to slide through the middle. Trapwire will deny him fully getting through without being detected.
A fine day.
Oh boy, jeez. That's the first kill we see for on the day. The Odin spam through mid.
Spike down.
Oh jeez Louise.
Randy all alone down to 1 versus 4.
I got the spike.
Has a spike, and that's about the only thing going for him.
Pretty much. Does have a lockdown, I suppose.
True. I guess if
30
he wins this
seconds left.
1v1 somehow against Thief and gets a spike down and locks down, maybe, but
Yeah.
Thief's going to be too smart to just not peek it. Just wait.
Here comes the move. Randy on site. And he is going to set up the
10
probably
seconds
players
left.
down low. Thief.
Hi.
Well.
Hello there.
Would you
Hey,
like
Bradwell.
Bradwell?
I don't think he wanted it, but he gave it to him anyway.
Yeah. That one's on the house.
Match point.
What a tale of defenses we've had in this map.
Yeah, it's been very
Unbelievable.
defensive. Absolutely. I mean, you thought when the first half ended and Auction are up 9-3, they're looking pretty, but BreakThru has completely flipped the script on that one.
And the interesting thing about both these defenses is we haven't like needed to see clutch ultimates come out to change the tides. Like defensive retakes, when they're even needed, have been really comfortable just by doing it the old-fashioned way.
True that. So we are going to see Oxygen looking to just lock down their way into B early this time around, and it is going to be a retake B setup from BreakThru. They have no one on site, so that one-way cage is kind of slowing things down a little bit to maybe set up the Hunter's Fury.
Lockdown denied, lots of information off the tags, lots of health also chunked out of both Mitch and Randy Savage. Spike has made its way on Mitch for the plant. Defense going to take their time to set up for a retake here, though, Dust.
Yeah, Spike definitely able to make its way down. It's going to be the 5-on-5 retake, as you said. Everyone coming through garage or back spawn. Pawnee with 2 huge frags.
So good to keep the stress on this defensive retake. First time we've really seen some offensive brilliance. The Paranoia going to kill off a little bit more time. Verno tapping away. Nearly gets all 3, but it's Scuba with the wall bangs, keeping Oxygen in it. 1 round from OT.
Yeah, just a great lockdown to get B-side control, and despite it being shut down by the Hunter's Fury, and despite some of the antics of a Protoss one-way cages on the main archway, Oxygen eventually able to get onto B. Pony gets a couple of huge kills and market in the post plant, which you feel like was kind of the catalyst for their success.
Absolutely.
That is now going to put it to
cool.
the full
That's how you survive.
rounds being required to decide whether or not this thing ends 13-11, whether we go to an OT.
Out of my way.
Sim already over the top. Did not see much, though, apparently.
Shot down.
Looking for the early knives. Guardians are just continuing to tap things away. Spike still left, though, over towards the A side of the map. Pony looking to kind of forward this thing at least closer towards A, but Oxygen have not thrown their same utility this direction, so they're a little clueless on what's over this way.
Yeah, this is like one of the few times we've seen Oxygen go A heavy, but not really be at tree. It's all through A lobby. So this is a little bit of a change up on their normal A attack. Nothing really even gets detected by BreakThru. Smokes are going down, though. Try to slow this attack down a bit. No one's even rotated off of B yet. So, I mean, BreakThru are not really sure what's happening here.
A lot of trust that this 3-stack is going to work.
Right. And, I mean, it certainly is right there. I mean, unless Scuba and company can battle it out.
First shot missed. Second opportunity, though, will allow an opportunity to get back through. The knives shut down. Verno, that's like killed 20 with his Hunter's Fury today. Give Oxygen a numbers advantage and a chance to get on for the plant. Mitch once again carrying the Spike on. Plan is successful. Cosmic Divide would be BreakThru on their retake attempt. You expect to see it. Just comes down to when and where. And already, Protoss already kind of broken through some of this post plant by getting up top this far. Rock with the opener. Immediate response come out, and, well, Thief, I don't know if you realize this, but you can't take it with you. Never use the Cosmic Divide. Is just going to have to try to walk into a 1v3. Recon will corner him up towards Jetty's. Toggle for the Spike. Someone's got to check it, and Scuba will be the one to do so. Let's go to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, the big difference maker that time was Oxygen was able to actually win a clean fight at tree position, something that had really eluded them throughout the entire half. They were never really able to get as much out of their tree pushes as they had wanted to. That time, they do, big time, get some frags, as well as come through a lobby very heavy and get a very comfortable post plant. And that's all that they needed to force this into OT. You know how it goes. You gotta win them back-to-back or it keeps on going.
Yep. And that may just come down to the question of who's going to win an offense first at this point.
If the trend continues, absolutely.
Yeah. Nothing cheeky, though, in this buy phase. No one going for the glass cannon operator, which I think is maybe more keen to see if Symphony is going to do that on the defensive side, because he's been unbelievable with the op so far.
Standing ahead.
Certainly looking to see the fast-paced A attack here from BreakThru. Brock trying to lead the way, but That fragment will slow things on right down, as well as the smoke being put up on that archway. The problem is, when you're put in a situation like this, if you're BreakThru, you don't have any idea what's going on anywhere else in the map because everyone is here. So if you try to fall back off of this, you have so much you have to worry about and clear with limited time.
And it's just the spy cam that sees anything, and that's still in a pretty passive position to try to stay concealed from being deleted. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, complete B lobby control here from Pony is going to free up to have a stout 3-man A defense comfortably. They just don't know what's going on at middle is like really the only fear for Oxygen. But they still, again, just have this firm defense on the A side itself. Definitely not playing for retake this time, buddy.
No, not at all. Oh, and a quick hit from Sim.
30 seconds left.
Takes down Mitch, who's been a problem, and even more damage ensues towards the rest of the Oxygen defenders. Randy Verno still trying to contest as long as they possibly can. Proto up top, the timing is beautiful for another double from him. Pony, the last one left for the 1v3. Full HP, full shields, still an updraft, still 2 cloud bursts. Definitely tools that he's going to want to have try to finesse this. But it's the first 1v1 that he doesn't get through, and BreakThru take the leader's advantage here in the OT.
Switching sides.
Yeah, it's like one of the first times we saw them look to just hold the site firmly from the rip instead of playing the retake, and it wound up just leading to their demise. Huge take there. Sem with some brilliant entries early. A Proto with the perfect time to come through window with the double up. And that is going to put BreakThru that one round ahead, a chance to win it here and now. Again, attacking rounds have been the ones that have been hard to come by, and they got it right away. So coming onto the defensive side, they're probably feeling pretty good about things. And that's why Oxygen is taking a timeout to try to figure out, hey, what can we do differently than regulation that's going to net us a win to keep this thing going?
Yeah, for real.
Again, I'd love to see some just like straight up mid control, like really threaten market and defensive spawn. Like these extremity plays have either led to you losing battles at tree and A lobby or losing against retakes. So
yeah,
I just really feel like if you make mid more of a focus of the attack, it forces the defense to respect a lot more areas of the map. You know, they have to worry about getting pushed through defensive spawn. They have to worry about the B split through market.
And think about how different the defense around mid looks when you're considering a Killjoy versus a Cypher. Like, at worst, you have to get through a trap wire. There's not a lot of further assistance or further alert systems
if you break that thing early with like a shotgun or something then it doesn't help the information of the defensive so much anymore. So that's another thing to think about.
Agreed.
But looks like they just want to go hot and heavy at A early here.
Shutting them down.
Doesn't catch anything. Follow up defensively, I think that does tag at least a couple of members, and Oxygen are making a lot of noise, but once more, it's just a fake off the sound cues as they kind of bide their time a little bit longer, try to create some doubt.
Area.
Yeah, just kind of the split defense. Sim still keeping tabs completely on middle. They had their setup over at B. Astra Stars blocking the main way into A main. And so it's really just Oxygen now having to spend a lot of utilities to make sure they haven't been pushed out somewhere. They're not really gaining any ground with it as much as they're just trying to like throw like little feints or something like that. That shock dart is trying to maybe break some utility, try to keep that B defense interested. Definitely still going to be the A attack, but I mean, BreakThru are more than prepared for it. They haven't really, you know, bit down on anything. They're ready to go.
And Sim's the one watching the front doors here with help
30
from
seconds left.
2 stars that are placed. I mean, this is a difficult defense to work through. On top of that, fly a ton of utilities direction if needed. There's a paranoia, knife to follow, but the first shot is missed. Steve will be the next one up. He starts to go to work, spamming through, and it works out for first blood. 15 seconds on the clock as well. BreakThru, you've got to hold this last second. Oxygen not finding any entryways. Looks pretty much all done and gone. 6 seconds on the clock, and it's Thief for 4. BreakThru, after a very one-sided first half, put together some dominance on defense of their own to steal back one away.
Yeah, I think what you saw throughout the course of this map was both teams obviously being very good defensively, being very good with their retake setups, feeling very confident in that portion of their game, but they really struggled to have any diversity to their attacking sides. I mean, their attacks always felt like very telegraphed, very limited. They didn't really leave many options on the table. Kind of early round, they would just kind of commit one direction. They'd leave the rest of the map completely unchecked, and it would kind of bottleneck them into these weird attacks where they're just they're trying to force themselves through utility and crossfires. And I mean, both teams struggle with that, if we're honest. But when it came down to the nitty-gritty of the overtime, BreakThru were able to find the extra effort needed to get the win. But I think both teams probably will be looking back at their attacking side on this map and trying to figure out maybe some ways to add some diversity to how they approach it.
And I think the thing that's even more peculiar on top of that is not just, you know, the offense is failing maybe because of a lack of commitment or not enough commitment to one space or another, but there is also a difference in why the offenses, I think, failed from either side's perspective. BreakThru's, yeah, their offensive first half was a lot of one-dimensional hits that came in a variety of different locations. Whereas for Oxygen, it more felt like, well, our first attempt is scuffed, but we're still going to try to force our way through it, and that's kind of where it fell flat, not even getting to that second level.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is when you had those heavy numbers in A lobby, for example, it's not as if you couldn't have someone putting some pressure towards market at middle, or at least smoking off the top of middle to disallow the defensive opper to know what the heck's going on in mid. It seemed like they just kind of kept running their head through a brick wall at tree, and it never really worked out. And then they tried to go for more heavier A lobby attacks, and that didn't really work out either because they're red. I mean, the defense knows exactly what's going on. They're forcing them through Astra smokes, like, and just running them through the blender. So, you know, definitely we saw some like cool individual moments. We definitely kind of got a little bit of our question answered about Verno as a player individually being able to put out some frags, but definitely it seems like the playbook wasn't as deep as they needed it to be to make those key adjustments on the attacking side when their initial game plan wasn't working out. And that really goes to both teams. But luckily, BreakThru, for their, you know, effort, were able to kind of squeak one by there.
Defensive dominance, the name of the game for map number 1. We'll send things off to a brief break, give you the full recap and the setup for map number 2 right after this.
I hate Fracture so much, so I'm gonna go with Fracture. I think if I had to remove one map from the pool, it'd be Fracture, definitely. That or Breeze, or Icebox. You know, we can keep going here with.
Oh, so Breeze and Biden already gone, yeah? Oh, I'd say, Ascent. I don't like Ascent. Map's boring. Just everyone knows how to play it. Just that. It's too hard sometimes.
So we're saying, like, if Lotus and Split were in, Biden and Breeze are gone? Oh, 100%. I have one. All right. If I could remove a map from the map pool 100%, it would be Ascent. I think that map is really annoying right now with just like everything being spammable. Makes it really annoying sometimes when you go against people who like to use the Odin, and it's just the fact that that's like a mechanic of the map is really annoying to play against. It makes it hard if you're trying to like default B.
I would definitely remove Icebox. That map is horrible. Like, it's just way too stale. The meta, like, comps really don't change. The lanes on the map are just too like close. It's just, you can literally stack 5 towards A on Icebox on CT side, and like you literally could still lose the round somehow, even with a read like that. Like that should never happen.
It's like it's not fun personally to play Pearl. To be honest, it's like, for example, like the B bomb site is just, oh my god, I hate it. I hate the B. Like retaking B, you know, everyone's just the post one, everyone's at the back of the rent. Like, I don't know, it's one of those maps where it's just like really post one heavy on that side, and it's just annoying.
Bind and Fracture just need to go. Thank God they taken Bind out, but how come Fracture? It just feels like a big like 50-50 map. Like teams will take like they'll take early control somewhere because you kind of have to. You can't sit in the sites, and it just comes down to being like a 3-on-3 like somewhere on one part of the map a lot of the time. So I think Fracture is I don't know. It's a pretty bad map.
Ooh, currently I'd probably remove Ascent. I don't know, Ascent's been so stale lately. Like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's like fully fleshed out the map. There's not really cool things you can do. Everyone's running like the same comp with the Sova, Killjoy, Jet, like Omen, or Astra. Yeah, I don't know, it's like the map's really stale. I don't think it comes down to strategy at this point. I think it's just who shoots their gun better. Like the map's really stale.
If I had to remove one map from the rotation, I'd probably say Haven, because Lotus is coming into the split, so having 2-3 bomb site maps is a little much for me. I mean, my team's pretty good on Haven, so it's kind of like 50-50, but yeah, I'd probably just get rid of Haven.
I think the map I would remove would have to be Fracture. It's just so boring. It's just so boring. Like, I don't know. It's just the same. I feel like it's the same thing every round usually. Like the same like ideas. Like I feel like being super creative on Fracture is kind of hard.
Okay, so the one map I would like to remove from the pool would probably be Split. I just never liked how it played out. Maybe, I don't know. I just was never a fan of it, to be honest. So Split would be the one to go for me.
I really don't like Icebox, to be honest. Like, me personally, I don't like Icebox. I don't like watching it. I don't like playing it even. So, I mean, I'd just remove that.
If I could remove one map from the rotation, Haven. It's just been there too long, you know. Just get rid of it for no reason. Just get rid of it.
Ascent, easy. Not easiest question. I'll probably get the whole day. Ascent is the worst map in the game by far. Let that. Make sure that's in here. You know, make sure that's in the interview. That is the worst map, Riot. Thank you.
Going to be a pretty even matchup, and taking it into overtime is definitely a way to prove that. Both teams definitely performing a lot better on their own defensive halves. A lot of promising things, a lot of things on their own attacking end shift that maybe need to be fixed, but overall, I think a really nice way to kick off the series.
Yeah, you know, I think we have to just kind of all remember that it's week one. We're going to see things that happen and be like, how is this going on? Especially considering that a lot of these teams that have come through the qualifiers are getting a test largely for the first time against other either comparable or better opponents, with quotes around that. So things are going to happen. But I think it is a bit star-striking to see how those two halves fared for both sides. Like Dust were kind of mentioning at the end of the actual map itself, it's like, the offenses were not finding success, but in very different ways. Some of them just too heavy-handed without much actual dimensionality behind it, or just maybe some interesting decision calls saying, we did not make it through on this attempt, but we're still going to force it anyways. So the playbooks are going to kind of mold as we go, and I think for BreakThru, we did at least see them trying to modify and adjust just a touch better, I think, than their opponents this time around.
Yeah, and a couple of the things that we talked about beforehand too, we've talked about how, you know, there's a lot of things that we don't quite know, but what we do know, Dust, is, you know, Verno and Scuba are cracked. What we do know is just the assist god out there, and we got to see a lot of that really come true and come to light in this game.
No, absolutely. I mean, Flya, despite his, you know, fragging numbers not quite being there, KD-wise, he certainly was out there really making good use of his utility and having a lot of impact, and like you said, a lot of assist. Also, Brock was just shutting things down. A Proto was a super huge anchor defensively. And then obviously Sim has proven to kind of be that star duelist that this team needs, right? You know, you flip that over, great debut for Verno, in my opinion, for challengers. I mean, kind of exactly what we were hoping for out of him. Scuba also lived to the hype as well. Just didn't really get much from Mitch and Randy Savage in comparison. And again, we just kind of know that both these teams struggled on the attacking side. You know, we kind of had Shift kind of already run us through that, and we talked about it time and time again throughout the game itself. But it really just did come down then to like the nitty gritty of overtime, and BreakThru just had a little bit more in the tank to be able to push it across the finish line. But I think both teams will look back at this and realize that they're going to have to retool their attacking sides a little bit. But for now, BreakThru's the one who gets the job done.
Yeah, the usual suspects, so to speak, when we were setting up this series did show up in the right ways. But I will say, for a team like BreakThru that, again, it was 23 total assists from Flya, and that still was matched by a number of players that were threatening double-digit assists, the luxury of being able to have Sim do what he just did will elevate this team, I think, to a point where they will be contenders in one form or another. Because that was the kind of the one question mark. You know, we saw kind of for this BreakThru squad, players like Flya and Brock and Thief, they're all participating immensely when it comes to the full team. But is there going to be somebody who has the potential of pulling a takeover mode? And not that Sim was not always that guy, but it wasn't at that level where he's pulling 26 and 17, right? So I think that's just another kind of extra cherry on top for this BreakThru squad, who already benefits off of great team play in the first place.
And then with already a great foundation here laid for both of these teams, at least on the defensive end, I'm excited to start looking ahead to Breeze. I mean, this is a map that is going to be gone from us kind of soon. It'll be interesting to see just how much work teams have put into it because they still do need to be viable on it now. But my biggest draw to attention for this one, instead of BreakThru, instead goes over to Oxygen Gaming. It's their pick. They've won some games with this team, but they're also playing this Yoru Dust. I feel like that's quite interesting, and I don't know if that's an open qualifier special. I don't know if that's something we'll see here. I don't know what type of shenanigans they're up to. Honestly, he's too shell-shocked. I do.
Shell-shocked.
The man was too stunned to speak.
Sorry, no. We had a little bit of a technical hiccup there, okay? But we're back. It's all fine. I was panicking and trying to fix it. So I'm here now, though. What do you need from me? I'm sorry. That was bad things happened on my end. I'm back, though.
Well, first off, welcome back.
Thank you.
Second, there is a possibility, depending on how cheeky Oxygen wants to get with it, that we might see a Yoru come out on Breeze.
That is definitely very, very possible. We have seen that happen not too long ago, right? Very, very recently from Pony. So definitely could be something that comes out. I think it could work on a map like this, especially with Breeze on its kind of way out. It's something, a little curveball to throw in on its way out. It's kind of nice. So I would not be shocked to see it at all.
Well, we're not going to have to wait long. Agent Select is ready, so I'm going to send you two off, and I'll catch up with you later.
Sweet, thanks very much. Yeah, I'm excited to see this draft, largely because, hey, we're going to possibly see an agent that we just don't often see. I'd say kind of like the most unplayed next to Phoenix, Reyna, and Harbor. So, yeah, it'll be interesting,
Poor
I think,
Harbor.
to see poor Harbor. One day he'll show up. One day. Poor guy.
Might need a couple of tweaks before we see him really show up. But yeah, otherwise, kind of everything going as one would expect. And indeed, it will be the Yoru instead of the Jet for Pony, once again. Other than that, everything about what you would expect. Cypher making its comeback now that Chamber has been kind of reined back in with Nurse.
Man, okay. I'm just trying to think through how exactly Oxygen want to put this together. I mean, largely, of course, on the offensive side, that's where Yoru will really shine, his ability to kind of distract, deter, and try to change focus very rapidly. But how much do you look at someone like Mitch kind of having to step up as like that next guy in? Because if you figure Pony's trying to play more as an entry, do you really look at Mitch to kind of be in takeover mode to kind of really make sure that this composition works? Because like Sierra was saying, the 2 wins that they had during the qualifiers were convincing, but that was in lower round 6 and the upper round of 32. So like, you know, are we really dealing with significant results enough to really prove this pick for Pony is going to work out for them?
Yeah, I mean, you also have to think that Verno seems to be a pretty aggressive Sova, from what I can tell. So, you know, you combine that with the Yoru and Mitch also getting out there with the KO, I think you can still make things happen.
Holy reveal. So much information. Sim has already played forward. Should be at least good for 1. There's more to follow, though, and yeah, just great isolation and nearly. Sim gets 3 on the opener. Finally, a trade comes through, but the spike is down. The defense does not want to allow any sort of collection. Cyber Cage will force them back. And yeah, Scuba will be able to get us into a 3v4 with the spike collected.
Oh, what the? Bruh. I need to see an instant replay of that. No doubt about it. That needs to happen. Okay, 3 versus 3 situation here. Spike is reclaimed by Oxygen as they backpedal towards their spawn. Looking like they still want to go for some type of A split. There are 2 defenders kind of playing towards the door area here. Brock, the solo defender, towards B.
Oh, and Inferno finds the timing onto Brock here. It could win the round, and there it is. So now double doors wide open for the taking. Recon Dart not going to reveal, but it forces these BreakThru members to be literally right on top of one another. Well, it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Inferno's good for the first. Fly with the second. 1v1 with Scuba. Only 11 HP, though, and that's the problem. And Scuba hits the final shot, takes the pistol for Oxygen.
And what looked like was going to be a pretty nice round for BreakThru based on their mid push and how much value they got out of that from Sim. It gets turned on its head when we are able to see Verno hitting a huge frag onto Brock on the rotation from B, and then just collapsing with the split onto A. Scuba wins the 1v1. It's so crazy how this round spiraled out of control when you consider how it started. I mean, you got a 5-on-3 right off the rip, but then just a ridiculous wall spam. And then Verno also, again, got that pick on Brock, and man, what a round.
BreakThru's looking to stay aggressive right into the waiting arms of Randy Savage, who gets the angle at the wrong time. Doesn't make a difference, still collects the kill. One more on to Flya. No, this time the headshot lands. We go to an early 4v4, but Flya has to forfeit this position taken in towards Cave, or does he? Wants more than this, and we're gonna see a lot.
He missed on
of
purpose.
that,
He missed on purpose. He didn't want to get flashed, okay? Hey, you give that man some respect, all right? He just didn't want to get blind, okay?
Oh, God.
Nothing to see there. Perfectly calculated.
It's too funny, man.
No, that was serious, all right?
One suppressed.
Well, here comes Oxygen on their next attempt. Aldro able to scout out at least the right pyramid, and Oxygen behind the toxic screen will do well to take down more, and completely catching Flya a bit with his pants down. Surprising to say the least. Last one to deal with would be Thief, and there's no worries there. Clean offense from Oxygen.
Just flexing that firepower advantage to its full extent there. Aggressive defense inside K has got you wondering for a little bit, but Oxygen were able to handle it. Recalibrate and get the job done. Certainly nice frag there from Flya, but Verno and company just looking real strong. I'm really liking Verno right now, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely on my radar. Again, you think about some of these up and coming solos we've had in the region.
Yeah, dude.
And he could be the next one. You know,
And
you
to
think
do it
about
all from
Derek
the
and
Oxygen
Trent.
banner.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's really, really cool. It's good company as well, for what it's worth.
Oh, Tony just holds on.
Well, the offense has got good mid-map control, but really nothing else beyond that. You see the trap wire watching the flank through tunnels would lead you to believe that this is all going to be geared for an eventual A hit. Just comes down to how do they want to focus it. The fake out will move first. And there it is. Little explosion into the flash. Toxic screen also up. The Fly is able to at least scout out some information for the defense. Pony taking a step forward over towards the container D. As School will go for the plant. Shot's not landing though for Pony. Surprising to say the least. And now we got a 4v4 for the retake.
Oxygen has pretty good positioning here at the touch screen, and Cage really blocking this back line from making any movement forward. Verno also finds a frag, and now he's got the Hunter's Fury out. That insult to injury, that sim down. And this looks like it's all she wrote. Or is it?
It is.
Yeah, okay. There was, you know, it was on the table for a second. It was on the table for a second. Not for
like
long,
when
though.
you've had an appetizer, you've had your main course, and the waiter says, "Would you like to look at the dessert menu?" Yeah, we had a look. It was on the table for a second.
Yeah, but then it's gone.
And it's gone.
Or it's like that awkward moment where you had the appetizer that the whole table sharing. There's like one left. Who eats it, man?
And
everybody's trying to be that guy. Everybody's
Yep.
trying to be polite. They don't want to be that guy. I just go in there and get it.
You know, that doesn't surprise me.
And you know what it is? It's me being considerate to everyone else. To not
Yeah, you
have
don't
to
want
go
them
through
to
the
sit on
awkward
the
struggle.
lingering decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I like
I'm
that.
just trying to help
Technically, I
everyone
like
out.
that idea.
So if anything, I'm more polite doing that than trying to be the nice guy. Yeah.
Fair enough. Snake bite down. That will give away that this is indeed a fake out. Doesn't make a difference though. Oxygen still get the kill. The gate crash allows Pony to move forward and take away all of these inner spaces around the site. Long flank on the way, but it's going to be contested by a trap wire most likely.
Spike.
Although actually Fly looks like he snuck through it. So hold on a second. The defensive KO may sneak up just in the nick of time. Long range shots not quite landing though. You gotta have those.
Needed it. That's for sure.
One enemy remaining.
So Oxygen about to go up 4-0 here. Of course, this was a low buy from BreakThru, so we kind of knew that it was going to be an uphill battle.
Silence.
Brock taking at least a little bit of a parting gift.
3 exits as well. But yeah, that's one of those situations that you pick up a couple of kills from that flank. Not only do you clear out window, you probably also get the simultaneous clear. onto Randy Savage, then maybe you can get an extra weapon or two out of the hands. But yeah, comfortable thing still from Oxygen. These executes have looked so much better than they did in Ascent. Holy cannoli.
Yeah, really loving how they've been able to use mid as well on the attacking side, which is kind of nice because it seems like a lot of times it more comes down to like the Viper utility to set up the A split or some type of just heavy B press, but they've been able to really exercise some cool stuff at middle, which is nice to see that variety. This is creepy.
Is it creepy because of the bear poking through the darkness or because of the music that's the soundtrack to that venue?
I think it's the combination, really.
Okay.
They accentuate each other for sure.
Sim in a little bit of trouble, so he thinks.
I like this.
Forces
Sim
a-
trying to change things up by taking mid away from them early.
Are they going to try to wallbang this again?
I don't know.
They're
They're
calling
marking
for
it.
At least that's the same spot they marked before.
Oh, Flya dodging darts. As we are going to see Mitch trying to shore up the middle. Flya sees
get out of
some, gets the flash off, but can't get away. And that's a big opener for Oxygen. Toxic Screen will block their way towards doors with the fake out to boot.
Oh, but Brock, he needs to get one more, you think, from here. It nearly does, but is overwhelmed. Sim on the flank. Operator connects straight into the knives. Should get one for free here, but Pony just goes a bit wider than Sim expected and wins a gunfight. So now the Viper's Pit reinforces. Proto and Thief, the last one's left, but Thief sneaks up behind. Can he avoid the line of sight of Scuba? Neural Theft coming through, but it's just a little bit too late. And with that, it's just down to Proto for the 1v2. Around that breakthrough is going to feel like they need to grab, and no, the double swing is good, and Oxygen still flawless 5-0 up.
Yeah, able to just get that kill at middle onto Mitch, or excuse me, onto Flya. That just kind of opened up the floodgates to get onto A side with that Toxic Screen, with the utility of the Yoru. And ultimately come up now 5-0 and put Breakthrough back onto a low buy yet again. And so their game plan of the Yoru in tandem with the rest of the utility has definitely come together on this attacking side, looking a lot more polished than what we saw in the attack of Ascent.
Yeah.
Again, their great use of middle on their attacking side has been one of the key features of Oxygen so far this game. Breakthrough trying to get aggressive at mid yet again. Last round, it didn't work out so well. This round, they have a little bit less to lose. Okay, you know, I'm trying to be a little more positive these days.
I mostly bring that out as a point of curiosity. It's almost baffling in a way because it's not just the fact that Oxygen is being denied mid. They're usually losing members when they try to contest for it, and they're still pulling out rounds.
Man, Breakthrough able to come on to Randy Savage there at the one frag. Meanwhile, though, Oxygen is just pouring through A halls right now. Have not broke this trap wire just yet. See you later.
I mean, he was tromping around like an elephant the entire way through. Fake out gate crash being used. Null command also part of the equation as Oxygen will just stroll on into sight.
Yep, there is a potential A flank option from Sim through Cave. They also
30
do
seconds
have
left.
Thief at the doors with the Stinger, but Verno's playing this up close angle, which may go unchecked, and that could be the demise. Great flash. Oh no.
Somehow doesn't connect. He just got around the corner long enough, but doesn't make much of a difference in the end. Proto last one left, Guardian will give away his presence. Would have to tap away immaculately. He's got information on 2 of the 3, but they're dancing with him, playing with their food. And Scuba will finally put him out of his misery. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Oxygen are having their way with this map so far, up
I'll say.
6-0, and the rounds haven't even felt close. That's the other thing. Not only is it a big lead, but it just seems within the round itself, we haven't seen a whole lot of hope for Breakthrough. I mean, I'm, happy that they've been trying different aggressive moves throughout the course of the map to try to slow Oxygen down, but none of them have really netted them any benefit just yet. They're changing things up yet again, putting Sim at doors with the operator.
It's just been one of those things that, like, on this map, Sim has just not been able to take away as much space at the op as he was on Ascent defensively. He's almost rooted in place, it kind of feels like.
And it looks like we are going to see the A split yet again here. Toxic Screen going down, Owl Drone leading the way. Alt going forward here for Pony to get some information on the site. Hunter's Fury going to try to come through and slow things down. That is a great op pick as well from Sim.
Yeah, much better here from BreakThru. Here in the Dimensional Drift to try to get away from it, but Pony is still in a considerable position. Scuba follows the nation behind this, but as the spike gets planted, the numbers still rest with the defensive BreakThru. Can they get on the board? It's all three members hitting from the exact same angle. Scuba watching at distance, Mid's trying to hold on as much as he possibly can, but just gets utility thrown his direction from really every agent that's left. Viper utility to try to reinforce once more, and Scuba's gonna have to peek through this. Just one snake bite. And Thief actually does not get the hold the half initially. Doesn't matter though. Brock through the toxic screen gets the kill. Oh yeah, looks like it did.
Yeah. So trying to use that one snake bite to get some additional time, not working out for him as it did not quite land the mark. And so the first round for BreakThru will occur. Really good opening frag from Sim with the operator, then able to get back. They also kind of limited Pony's impact with his ult. He only got the one frag before getting traded, so really well managed from BreakThru in that regard. See if they can keep it up, though. Oxygen still have plenty of money in the bank. Viper's Pit is available for BreakThru to lock down one zone. Looks like it is going to be B main that they choose to use it.
Yep. A little bit of Cypher utility there to make sure that Thief feels as comfortable as ever. And Oxygen, are they going to try to wrap around the back of this? Seemed to be the idea with Verno trying to play through mid, but as Sim finds the first blood, a follow-up from Brock's Aldrone will definitely give this information, although Pony, who's gotten very far forward in through mid-halls, I mean, he had no breaks. I saw the move coming in through early, but I thought after Verno dropped that would be enough for him to stop. Not the case at all.
No, and now the Viper inside the pit has to worry about that gate crash. He's kind of like, I wonder what's going on here. All the while, Pony's just holding on towards defensive spawn and picking off more players along the way. Toxic Screen now comes in to split open the A side. It's only on Sim with the operator. He has to worry about K's, his backside, his blind side. He's got to worry about everything.
He's hit the first, though. Stay alive. Has a dash available. No cloud burst to keep him safe. Can he exit over towards caves? Tries to snap. Not going to work out. He dashes into danger. Pony for his third. Fourth around the corner. Working on the ace. Just Thief left remaining. And that'll be a contest through double doors. Operator picked up. Thief on his way in. Would have to work through a 1v3. Scuba confirms the information. Snake bite to follow. And how do you get through this double peek? You don't. 7-1 Oxygen.
Man, you thought maybe BreakThru were starting to find some footing, but immediately the doors slam back in their face there by Oxygen as Pony continues to just have incredible impact with this hero. Not necessarily in total frag count, but just the amount of presence he's been able to create across the map. Always being a thorn in the defensive side, always guessing where he's going to teleport to or where he's going to be next. Definitely been a nice entry for the team to create space, and Scuba's teeing off. He's 14-1.
Through 8 rounds, yeah.
I mean, we all know how good Scuba and Viper as a combo is, and he's living it up again.
Cutting through. Oxygen looking to run with momentum this time very quickly. Same thing. Gate crash, fake out, all on the way forward. Snakebite will be there. Flash comes through, hitting on top of that. The teleport will be held on to. Long-range shots will work out. Not a lot of ammunition left for Pony. Also needs a little bit of help, and Proto will punish. Sheriff in hand, he keeps himself safe. Defense now here with a bit of numbers. The only player they're waiting for is Sim, and he's coming through mid-map, and he's coming quickly. Brock, good from the corner. And Proto, are they really going to pull off a thrifty like this? Scuba's the last one remaining. This would be a 1v4. Takes the first two quickly. Others around the corner. The shots just quite aren't there. And BreakThru secure an eBay thrifty to get their second.
Wow, really well done. Love that high-low peak at the end to win the 2 versus 1. Really make it difficult on giving Scuba any chance at some type of clutch situation there. Finally finding their second round after quite the drought. It's been a tough half through and through, but despite Pony's antics inside the site, Sim comes through with the ult, the proto with the pistols, and then again, this high-low peak right there, which is so smart to finish it off. Full buy now for both teams. Op in Sim's hands yet again. Using him in a more common angle this time just to watch A caves.
Yeah.
Time to jump.
Which I kind of like, because I feel like the times he's tried to take post at middle, it just hasn't really netted any benefit.
That's a good call. Verno will use that early sound as a way to grab the orb. That's Hunter's Fury now also tallied into possible ultimates here, Dust.
Once again, mid presence being taken by Oxygen. It's been kind of a staple of their attacking side. Just kind of leaving Randy Savage kind of posted up for now as the rest starts swinging through over towards the B side of the map. Again, they've liked to use that gate crash to get kind of in the front corner of the site and then use that to split it open.
Next?
That's been kind of their big play, but now they have an ult, which makes it even more fun.
Oh, they just completely run it down Thief's throat. Verno also gets the Hunter's Fury in, and this is just Pony saying, yep, go here, throw this there. I see everything.
I'm just glad professional players are now getting to understand how annoying it is to play against Yoru, but they get to do it in a professional competition instead of me raging in solo queue.
Wow. I mean, that's just a free UAV.
Yeah.
Pings on the map.
Yep.
Send your first Hunter's Fury dart here. Throw
Yep.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield Commander. Wow. Scuba and Mitch are saying, cool, thanks, dude.
Let's get this done.
Wow. All right. I have to have something here for breakthrough, otherwise we may just be in for another 9-3 set of halves. Based on how things are going so far, and breakthrough Dust are going to just full stack over through mid and double doors. Null command out, and Oxygen get free sight control with reveals on top of it. It just keeps favoring Oxygen.
Yeah, I mean, Pony is just destroying. He's now got 3 on this round alone. The other 2 at the doors. Could he ace, perhaps? He's looking for it. He's got a 4th. If his teammate's going to let him do it. Verno, come on, bro. Verno. Come on, man. Help your guy out. Let him have one.
He would have been 1 away from getting another dimensional drift. Come on, brother. It's also not just cool, it's efficient.
You would have had 2 different players on your team get an ace this match if you would have let him do that.
Shaking my head, my head.
Verno will learn eventually. He's new. It's understandable.
Wow. Okay. How about this? I imagine there are plenty of people watching right now that said, okay, I see you, Yoru. Shaking that thing. Probably not actually saying that, but...
Probably not, if we're honest.
We can.
You can. I won't.
All right.
That's your fantasy. As we are going
to label it as fantasy.
Whatever you want to call it. As we are going to see once again the B pressure being laid here by Pony on the B site, though. How does he already have an ult again, man?
Dude, you got both orbs.
I don't understand. This just already has another ult.
Yeah, here he is over here. We can get forward for free. It's just, oh my word. And
Wait a second.
through on the flank.
I'm not crazy, right? He just had an ult 2 rounds in a row?
Not 2 rounds in a row.
Oh, 2 out of 3.
A round off. Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, okay.
Proto gets the first couple of kills here, though, so Scuba, who's not a part of this, would have to find value off the flank, and the Northam's going to reveal the majority of it. So Mitch from the interior is just trying to create time and space, but it's not going to work out. So once again, a 9-3 half. I mean, I see good things come in 3, and this would be our 3rd such instance of it, so who knows?
Yeah, Oxygen just definitely had a game plan with the Yoru. Flexed it really well throughout the course of the half on both sides of the map, as well as implementing some good bit of control at times as well. Scuba, nuts as usual. So you got a little bit of everything in that one.
Oh, yeah. You have to know that breakthrough that final round was like, again?
That is
Another
pretty
drift?
That is crazy. Yeah, because he got the quad kill, so that got him a bunch of orbs, and then he picked up the 2, so that's pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. I think he ulted 4 times at half?
I think so.
Jesus.
Hashtag nerf Euro in the chat. I'm kidding. This is actually so fun to watch. Like, real talk.
Fun
this
to
is so
watch
fun.
is the key phrase.
Yeah,
Fun
I
to
can't
play
imagine
against, absolutely not.
Well, how do you use him on defense now? That's going to be the next question for our Yoru Masterclass. As BreakThru on the pistol have already worked their way in for a quick plant at B.
Right here.
Full flood through tunnel. Oh, good shock dart. Lots of damage confirmed, and BreakThru will clean it up. It's great timing, and that's where the fake out kind of double crosses you a little bit. Say, okay, well, I know where you're coming from. Pony, the last one.
I'm
left,
still waiting for
nothing
Pony to
grab.
fake out the fake out and destroy someone. That's what I need next.
I'm here for that.
And that'll
Like, just
complete
like-
the whole cycle. That'll complete the bingo card. As we see Scuba teeing off for a couple of frags here. Probably not going to get much more than that, but
no.
Still kind of fun at the end. But that's a big pistol to win if you're BreakThru. That kind of gets you back in the game. You feel like if Oxygen wins that one, it might be a quick map too. But now BreakThru all of a sudden have a foothold again. Really well done here from Brock.
Yeah. It's just a great read, great follow-up. And that is all allowed to happen because of how rapidly they got into the site in the first place.
Right.
That's an AD
So
light.
the tempo that we saw for BreakThru on Ascent works out for the pistol, and a chance to establish some economic dominance here in round 2 of the half.
Big push here in K's from Oxygen on the eco, rolling the dice. Again, kind of what you have to do in a round like this to have any hope. Unfortunately, they've guessed wrong on the 50-50, and the attack's going to be coming into B, but there is a teleport there.
Yeah.
To help out Randy Savage on the site, but instantly caught.
Yeah, and now it's just down to Randy. Stuck in the corner, Sim will check and collect the easy kill. Proto also aware that there are members on the flank. Has his spy cam as well as trap wires here. That will trigger onto mid, but it's not going to slow down this hit because it has to come, and it has to come quickly. Proto next one up. Flash comes out. Does not take advantage of it, though. Crossfire from Flya just barely lands onto Scuba. And with that, Verno, well, he'll see if he can continue to stack up the kill tally, as he doesn't really have much of an option here.
Revealing area.
And not a whole lot left to be done in this situation, as all the rifles will be held up here by BreakThru. So really not even going to have much of a bonus round this next round. It's pretty much going to be a full buy the way that they've spent their credits.
Absolutely.
Kind of nice to be able to bypass that whole situation. Keep you on your best foot immediately.
I mean,
Stinger
you can
for
even
Thief.
argue with the weapons plus the armor, this is almost more, actually. It is more. If you look at the loadout value, this is a more expensive loadout for BreakThru than Oxygen on the traditional buy round because of how clean these offenses have been.
Yep. I think that's going to be the big thing with Euro defensively is the quick rotation ability with that gate crash.
Sure.
So you can kind of create presence one place and be able to quickly rotate and reinforce when need be. That's going to be the edge that you can have, perhaps.
It's almost, I'm curious on your thoughts on this. You know, the offensive side, we obviously see a ton of value from the fake out, but you almost have to think defensively, you have to be a blindside master if you're going to get Euro to find full value, because the fake out doesn't really do much defensively.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We see a quick execute here from BreakThru on the B site. Randy Savage trying to navigate through it all, but only good for one, and BreakThru crack open everyone else. Just Mitch and Scuba left.
We find out that this map's about to be the opposite of Ascent, where it's all offense instead of all defense.
All offense all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Scuba Mitch are just going to give away the round. Hope that they can hold on to these weapons. Which, to be fair, because of the level of purchase that BreakThru have, I don't imagine they're going to try to chase too much here. Although a couple members possibly could. If they want to. This is like the that summer solstice we had a few years ago. Everyone's like waiting for the sun to overlap and the moon and all that. Just wait for the spike to detonate. Everyone's watching. Everyone's got their sun protecting glasses on.
Sure.
I don't know why that came to my head. I have
Is that an
no
eclipse?
idea why that came to my head. I don't know.
Is it?
I'm no astrologer.
Are you referring to an eclipse? Or
You know what I'm talking about, though? I don't know why that came to mind. All right, let's move on. I know it's rough out here.
it's been we're working the rust off. It's been some months since we last casted this many games or any games of Valorant for that matter. So we're getting there. All right, crowd.
Whatever.
We're working on it.
I'm no
I don't know where he is,
astronomizer.
but you know. Once more, breakthrough, looking to set up for this B attack early. Wasting no time dashing in a sim, but he gets cut off by Scuba right away. There's really no follow-up.
No. This feels almost familiar towards moments in Ascent, where the first player in is left kind of to their lonesome saying, where was everybody?
Why ain't no one helped me?
Yeah. And a full wrapped tunnel here, Dust. This could actually catch the defense by surprise. Now they watch just the nick of time. Kills will be there, and Oxygen set themselves up for a flawless round with the final 3 kills coming from Mitch.
Really well done there from Oxygen, basically reading every step of that plan, shutting it down with ease. Just felt a little bit disjointed from breakthrough on that attack. Just maybe a little off on the timing, but they still back onto a full buy. No ults in play just yet for either squad. A little bit more of a balanced approach for the opener this round, it seems like, from breakthrough. Not really putting all their eggs in one particular basket.
Yeah. And honestly speaking, you've got the spike currently on hand with Thief. You figure a plant comes through, he will immediately Viper's pit it as Sim is able to collect first blood that's on to Pony. So now that kind of allows the floodgates to open and all of breakthrough to run on in towards site. Sim up top. He sees the bow. Oh, great heavens. And actually takes down Randy Savage. So now extra information on where this defense is positioned. Proto should get a free one here.
Oh, no.
Bruno, that's a heck of a snap. Just could not hold his ground. Too many offensive members nearby. And actually, this has been so convincing that Thief has not felt the pressure to have to hit the triggers to pop in the Viper's pit. So this is just a normal 2v4, so to speak, right now.
Which is nice to be able to carry that over, especially when you're behind a few rounds. You know, every little bit counts to try to make the comeback, and so being able to get this one clean without it's certainly nice. Scuba getting a couple of frags on his way out the door, making this one a little bit costly.
You may still go for this.
You think? That would be really ballsy. Yeah, I don't see it. No way.
Gave it an effort, just a thought. But yeah, they would have had to hop it immediately. Okay, so 7-10. Economy stays relatively neutral between both parties. Now we got some ults to talk about.
We do. 4 of them. 3
Good math.
belonging to breakthrough. Yeah, that was pretty safe math. Casters and math on the fly, not usually a good idea.
Never.
Always really, you know, advise against it. But I felt pretty good about that one.
Let's go.
Well assessed.
Get out of my way.
Okay, let's see what we're gonna get this time. Oxygen moving very quickly through mid. Fake out kind of leading the way as Pony's gonna be the one handling the operator this round. Not much to be seen nor gained, although Pony will still kind of keep his presence in mid.
Yeah, he's way out there.
Yeah.
Obviously could teleport his way out when need be. Viper's Pit guarding the AKs defensively for Oxygen. We are certainly seeing breakthrough putting most of their forces towards the B side of the map early here, though there is still the lurk of a Proto out towards middle.
Spycam does not connect with the dart.
There they are.
Even though Sim is running forward with knives, the defense is in a good spot to respond to this. In fact, Sim may just have to completely take over the back of the site and hope this defense can get here to help in time. Viper's Pit down, that'll be used to reinforce. Sim just holding in between the brick wall and also the Viper's toxic screen. Mid-map, Proto able to take down Pony. There's the neural theft out. Sim's gonna have to do something almost immediately, and the knives do connect. Lots more than that, and nearly gets all 3 in the backside of the play. But Mitch and Scuba stay alive. To the 2v2 we go. How do you clear the Viper's Pit? Fragments available, and you've got 2 snake bites, so the ability to AoE deny Thief is in play. On the flip side, nothing available for BreakThru to stop any possible diffuses with any presets. And as Scuba gets the kill, it's just down to Proto. Knife not gonna connect. Scuba for the hold. Round the back. Kill comes through. Gets the halfway. Scuba gets the kill. Does he have it in time? The halfway charge is key. With about 2.5 seconds left, and Oxygen win back-to-back rounds.
Wow, what a down-to-the-wire round that really was. It was back and forth, both neural tests going off at basically the same time. It comes down to a 2 versus 2 in the end, with Viper's Pit down for the attacking squad in the post-plant, which you would think would give them that slight edge they need to close, especially after Sim pulls off these maneuvers at the spawn. But in the end, Scuba able to clutch it up. Put his team out in front 11-7 now, making it much harder for BreakThru to try to make that comeback and keep the 2-0 dream alive.
Yeah. I mean, this is it right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Economy's is in shambles.
Absolutely.
If they lose this round.
Yeah, Haven looking more and more likely as each second passes at this point. Let's BreakThru can find it here and now. Being very cautious this round. They know that Pony's been very aggressive at middle, so they don't want to give anything away early.
Well, that shock dart destroying the trapwire has forced Oxygen to make some concessions through the middle of the map in order to make sure that they don't just leave Scuba by himself. Mitch is on the way over, and then you've also got the ability to teleport in if you're Pony.
Yeah, trying to set up this A split right now. Drone about to lead the way here from Brock. There is a defensive toxic screen that could block the entrance of A caves. Null Command leading the charge here. Pony and Randy Savage playing off the back of the side. They've already found one.
Hunter's Fury trying to work their way in defensively, but the kills for BreakThru are decent. Enough at least to get the spike on for a plant, you'd think, as soon as the Hunter's Fury fades away, but Pony is still contesting. And he's done well. Spike planted. Up top, not a lot of health remaining for Proto, who gets absolutely shut down by Pony. And now a chance to hit the blind side and possibly even peek out behind. This dimensional drift's going to come through. It's just going to be down to what does he give his teammates information on. The first pink, that Flya is nearby, but the kill is not going to be able to get there, so we have to wait for him to kind of teleport back, and the isolation's good. Long range shots. It's down to Brock. Has to win this 1v2. Sees one cross, catches the other on rotation, gets around the backside of the pyramid. Time now an ally. Pony going for the stick, trying to get it to halfway. Recon Bolt comes out. Pony gives it away just a touch a little bit too soon. Brock on the check over the top. Oh, the shots nearly didn't land. But he clutches up the 1v2. The eBay clutch goes his way. And BreakThru stay alive.
Oh, man, that recon bolt comes up big from Brock to get the read that the plant was not being committed and able to come up with the 1v1 in the end. But still a pretty scary round. The way it started, you thought it'd be a dominant win for BreakThru. They had some pretty clean entries early, but Pony, once again, having so much impact on this Yoru. He's had like 7 ults this game, it feels like, at this point.
For real.
But they just do scrape by. It's been tit for tat the last 5 rounds. No one's been able to really get a streak rolling, but if it continues that pattern, Oxygen will eventually walk away the victor, forcing our 3rd map of Haven. They will call the timeout. They know they've kind of let BreakThru slip back into this one. So they want to make sure they can stamp it out before it gets out of control. Problem is, they don't have the greatest economy coming into this.
No.
Couple of rifles. Pony could pick up one as well. That's going to be it.
But do you trust that that's enough?
I mean,
because if you lose that round, all of a sudden your economy's back to 0, and you're looking at nearly a tie game.
Yeah, I'd like to see like a half-buy approach here, honestly. I think would be better. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. We see Verno downgrade to the Guardian. Sheriff's being picked up by the rest. So yeah, this is a good call in my opinion. You put a little bit out there, but you don't fully commit to it. Make sure you get that nice, comfortable full buy next round.
Yeah. And this is going to, you know, for the BreakThru fans that are out there, you're going to be happy to see this because you've got 2 members on light armor that are still having a trouble getting back into this financially. So if you're BreakThru, you're hoping for something close, if not at a flawless, where for Oxygen, just punish. Every kill is a good kill if you're Oxygen in this round.
Slow start to the round once again from BreakThru. They've been pretty cautious in these early round situations, just anticipating that aggression that we've seen from Pony multiple times.
Time to jump.
Poison Cloud takes over tunnel. Focus for Oxygen defensively here at B is going to be into the choke point. And actually,
oh, look at
how about
this.
Scuba gets through. Oh, he gives it up though. I think he may have heard enough.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Knife comes through. Over the top, here goes Sim. Holding his life, maybe a little bit longer, waiting for his teammates to come through and assist. The Scuba continues to delay. This is great time for the defense. Even better if he could find elimination, but just too many rifles looking him down. So the spike will be planted, and now Oxygen have to stack up for their 4-man retake.
Yeah, they just had the Guardian and a couple of Sheriffs to use here. That's really about it, besides maybe a couple of pieces of utility, and they're all essentially coming from spawn side except for Mitch. Verno does get a kill, though, onto Thief. Gets it back to equal, but a Proto Company up close, starting to shut it down. But are they? Verno with 2.
It's just down to Sim for the 1v2 situation. Another clutch that has to come through, and it does. This time a 1v3 from Sim for the eBay clutch, but as mentioned at the top of this round, any kill was a good kill, and Oxygen collected.
Man, that one really had you wondering every step of the way. It seemed like it should be a clear win for BreakThru after they got the frag onto the site and had the 5-on-4 with such a massive firepower advantage. But Verno, again, kind of the one that we were wondering what he would do at this level of competition, has more than proven himself throughout the course of this series. A big moment there, but just not quite enough to get it across the finish line. It will still be 9-11 in the end.
Fast take for mid through BreakThru. Lots of utility spent for this Pony. Oh, nearly catches the thigh of Brock at range. But now a lot of information as far as where this defensive operator is playing. And you can make the decision if you're BreakThru. Do we overwhelm him and isolate, or do we just avoid him completely and go somewhere else?
Now, they've been playing this passive B setup quite often, and then just kind of slowly moving their way forward with their utility. Pony wants to remain at middle, but sends his teleport into B site to be a reinforcement if and when Mitch decides he needs it. We are going to start seeing some utility poured into B once again. Null command out defensively here from Mitch.
Yeah, you don't have to commit to this if you're BreakThru off of that. Still plenty of time if they want to cut a wrap. Hunter's Fury, though, for Brock, trying to flush out the corner. Verno in trouble, but largely unscathed. That you still have some good defensive pressure. Scuba's on
Everyone's
this corner.
here.
Yeah. Flash in. Here comes the play, and no one checks the right corner. Scuba gets one. Verno is still reinforcing on top of it, but Pinstripe goes the kill feed. Proto has something to say about it. 15 seconds on the clock. Have to get this planted. The north depth will be spent, and Pony and Savage, well, they'll be known exactly where they're located at. Utility sent their way. Couple of tags here and there, but this is a tough retake considering the circumstances.
Revealing area.
And they may just give this up, honestly.
I don't know. They're sticking around, and they have some good health.
It's a tough call. Pony gets one. Oh, Randy another. Does it come down to another 1v2? Cypher on Cypher action. Proto to 45 HP. Has the clock in his favor. Nothing else. On the corner! How about Proto? And BreakThru just continue to go 1v multiple to stay in it.
I mean, just every time you think the match might start to get wrapped up, it unravels right in front of your face. As now it's 10-11. It's tight. This execute looked like it was going to be grim. The defense was in place. They didn't check the corner on the initial peek. It looked like it would spiral downward, but BreakThru find a way through brute force alone to crack open that B site. Despite all disadvantages against them, and now they're the ones putting Oxygen up against the ropes who have low econ. This could be 11-11 real quick. Or will it?
That hurts. Marshall headshot takes out Brock. That's your intel gatherer for this execute towards A. But Scuba off the flash, tried to force something further, and that may actually work out for an even trade. Pony continues to play it out. Hunter's Fury through for Verno. Does he connect this time? Not quite, and with that, we get to a level 3v3.
Indeed we do, but that Marshall is still out for Verno. Savage is going to have the Sheriff. Well, that's gone now. Never mind, but it was still taking one down with him. Thief, though, on the hat trick, leaves Pony all alone, but just a classic.
Gun here.
Golly.
Fake teleport.
Spike planted.
Weapon collected, but it's a Marshall. Slightly better than what he had before, especially if you connect on that headshot. But now BreakThru, I imagine, will not give him another chance at a long-range battle. So the screen goes up. Pony hoping just to spam something through.
Imagine he hit one.
I know, right? So it's a double stack behind bricks. Pony does have one blind side to use, and there it is. Around the corner. No.
A little too much for a Marshall in that situation. Not quite the weapon you need for that. Brilliant flash and all, but Marshall's not going to get it done in that moment. Now we're all square 11 apiece, though. The alts do sit with Oxygen, including a Viper's Pit, which is a very key tool to have defensively to block off an area early. Op and play for Sim. We haven't really seen that on the attacking side too much from BreakThru. I think maybe just one round where you got to pick on Pony and A-Halts. That was some time ago.
That could be the battle here again as well. Viper's Pit thrown down early by Scuba. Offensively, though, more utility still to kind of suppress some of that play. Aldrone will scout out Sim through mid. That will shut down this entire Hall's play, essentially, single-handedly. Proto is nearby. That has not been scouted out yet. And Vernal's going to have to be very careful about trying to pick any fights. Scuba being pressured from the front doors, but largely he's fine.
Yeah, but this A-Hall's press is continuing forward right now. It's actually all the way peeking into defender's spawn, watching for a rotation. Pony, though, out in middle, watching the fallback.
Yeah.
And a brilliant shot from Randy Savage on the Sim from the headshot angle. Cages his way forward for the neural theft.
Second shot, though, misses, so both ops come up empty. Neural Theft gets the information that the rotation is on towards B, but there's still plenty of time for them to fake back if they want to try to pressure out Scuba inside of his pit. A difficult prospect, to be sure. No command can be committed on top of the knife. And even with that, there were still not enough defenders in the site for most of them to be affected yet, and that's actually going to slow down BreakThru pretty considerably. Fly is going to drop. Randy Savage holding the corner. It's going to maybe just do it all, and he sure will. 4 kills, including the knockdown. And that's Oxygen on match point.
What a round from Randy Savage, man. Not always the guy that's putting up the biggest numbers, but comes up huge in a critical moment. 4 massive kills from the corner there of the site. It looked like BreakThru were actually going to make a pretty good push onto that B site, especially after they were able to catch Pony inside middle, but Randy Savage had different plans, and now it all comes down to this. OT or a 13-11 win. Very reminiscent of where we just were on the previous map. But this time it's BreakThru, the ones with the little bit lower firepower here with the Spectre and Stinger.
Viper's Pit, Neural Theft, that will be it. Lineups coming through. Fly looking to put some pressure on the front doors towards B. If the Aldrone scouts anything out, you have to imagine that'll be enough to hit the triggers and hit the go call. But not going to be allowed. Defensively, the knife breaks through the Aldrone, and as the shock darts come out to deny the trap wires, here comes the play. Spike is a part of this. Randy Savage still being revealed. He does not get the dart down. This is key information for BreakThru, but no one's fallen as of yet. I mean, it's all 10 players here, and all 10 players for a time still alive until Fly gets the kill. Proto on the flank. Doesn't quite connect, though. Maybe a missed opportunity. The defense starting to fight back into this, as the spike was never fully planned, but Proto gets a neural theft. Scuba back and forth. It's a 1v2 for Scuba, trying to avoid going to another overtime. Location fully revealed. Proto holding one side, and he's going to back away to stay clutch as Stephus is going to try to deny any further entry into his Viper's Pit. No utility here, and Scuba has heard this rotation, but he's got to win 2 very difficult gunfights, and he guesses left instead of right. Let's do it again.
Another overtime before us here in this race between BreakThru and Oxygen. It's been tit for tat all the way through, and so there's no surprise. Extra rounds will once again be required. A brilliant B attack that round from BreakThru forces us into this situation as a side swap. BreakThru back on the defense, Oxygen back on the attack, and Pony has really been the X factor in these attacking rounds for Oxygen, creating that space. They've been so good in particular at threatening the middle position. and really forcing the defense to scramble a bit. So no surprise to see them kind of gathering up early at middle once again. They want to try to snake bite the door so no one defensively can get pushed out there, and then they can really send Pony more forward.
And that's been the key to the entire offensive half for Oxygen, is Pony getting forward. Like,
yep.
It's just to simplify it completely. Fake out through mid. Spike is going to follow. No information off of any potential spam throughs, and BreakThru are just giving up the site essentially.
This Aldron's not really seeing too much, just one player. That's really not a big read. And Fly over the top of the screen finds a huge kill before Oxygen can get into the site.
Oh! And the read on the Pony after he's able to hit the gate crash into the site itself, and the kills are all turning up in favor of BreakThru. All the 9-3 meme lords, get your ammunition ready. It may happen again.
Indeed it shall. They had such an early read on that A attack. They had a massive rotation in place prepared for it, and they got some big opening kills to boot. And so they will all of a sudden be the ones in the driver's seat. They are the ones that can now force the 2-0 here in this overtime. Again, the attacking side has been the side that's been most favored by both teams in regulation. BreakThru got the key defensive round they just needed to get out in front. Again, it's very much the same story as Ascent, but just reverse sides.
Yeah.
As BreakThru take the time out to make sure that they're putting their best play forward to finish this thing off. They've been very B-heavy on their attacks. Like, they've been really just kind of letting Sim smoke and dash his way forward with some set utility from Flya, and just really trying to use that to gain control of B. I'm curious to see if they have something they haven't broken out yet that they've been sitting on for a key moment like this. Maybe some type of A set piece, or maybe more just default mid control. They've been very passive early, I think is like the key thing. Yep. And so I'm just kind of wondering, like, does that now change since this many rounds have passed? You know, can they come up with something and give Oxygen a different look?
And on the other side, Oxygen, based on what we're seeing right here on this frozen minimap, is already a different look, as you've got Randy Savage playing over towards A now with his second trapwire inside of Halls, which has been there before, but he's mostly been stacked up over towards B. So that may be BreakThru trying to target Randy, who's had a fine game, but not a shutdown game by any stretch of the imagination on the defensive side, and they may run into all three defenders here for Oxygen completely unaware.
Frag already for Pony here to get things started. He wants to keep this map going, that's for certain.
Standing ahead.
Very good way to kick things off as that toxic screen is lined up at B, and it seems like that's what BreakThru were hoping to do yet again.
Yeah.
With some type of B set piece, but they have been absolutely swatted away. Now they're trying to regroup through middle and through A side. They do have a Proto coming through caves.
No regard for the cyber cage, just running right on into it. Oxygen are here to deal with this as well. Flash, right as soon as it falls down, though, is good for the elimination. 4v4 over the top. Oh, that's decent from Verno, but nothing to follow up from Pony. So numbers and the plant towards BreakThru, who survived map 1 to get it to an overtime and then take back-to-back rounds. Looking to do the exact same thing here on Breeze.
Flya's going all the way around through middle to doors, man. He is playing the long con. Can they buy enough time for him to get there, though, is the question.
Oh, Proto cannot stop this defensive retake in time. Brock just trying to throw utility out from caves.
They know.
Tag. Yeah, they absolutely do know. There's the poison cloud. Flya making his play now. Does he have the angle to spam the spike and collect a free kill? Sure does. And then the reveal comes out. No command just because why not? Mitch completely stuck with nowhere to go. It's Flya for 4. Another 9-3. Oh, it just goes wrong again. And BreakThru